Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Right Wellness Chat. Today, we are going to get real practical and tactical, and I'm going to share with you my P.A.C.T.S formula. This is a fun acronym that I came up with to help explain my simple strategy that I used to go from overwhelm to a confident tracker. Okay, I am so excited to break this down for you. Get ready to take some notes and let's get started. Today's episode is brought to you by my OG, my number one for fat loss that 100% expedited my postpartum 30-pound transformation. It's truly liquid gold. Just 1 tablespoon each morning and is helping to inhibit fat storage, shrink fat cells, develop lean muscle, support fat metabolism, restore youthful skin, support joint, muscle, and connective tissue, support healthy hair, nails, gum, and eyes, has 0 sugar, 5 decadent flavors to choose from. Add it to a sensible diet for best results, take it alone, or amp up results with supporting products. Click the link in the show notes for product details and coupon attached to get started at a discounted price. Here's to the kitchen sink of physical wellness, mama. Hey, mama friend, do you have a full, blessed life that is so overwhelming? Do you want to live well and honor your temple, but just don't even know where to start? Motherhood is so stressful. You just need more peace, am I right? Hey, I'm Shan, daughter of the king, wife, mother to 4, RN, wellness coach, and I am so happy you're here on the Right Wellness Chat. I can honestly say I have been there. I know what it's like to want to live well, but completely overwhelmed and about to lose it with my very blessed full life. I got to the point where enough was enough and I tracked my way to whole body wellness and so much peace. Want to learn how I did it? I will break it all down in simple, tactical solutions, share intentional living strategies, and pour a heavy dose of encouragement to chase Jesus, the Prince of Peace. Come on, we got this, mama. 1 baby step of courage at a time. Go heat up that coffee for the 3rd time and turn your listening ears on. Let's chat. Hey mama, welcome to another episode of the Right Wellness Chat. Okay, I had said at the end of episode 2, we would talk about peace next. And of course, we will definitely discuss it. But today, I want to tell you how I got there. And then next, we'll expand on what peace is. Because maybe you, or at least one of you listening, are overwhelmed, stuck, surviving, and you need a solution. So today, I want to share a simple strategy that got me from overwhelmed and anxious to courageous and confident. I actually gave it an acronym to make it really easy to remember. P.A.C.T.S, P.A.C.T.S, P.A.C.T.S as in an agreement, right? So we will break down each letter and expand on what they all mean. Now, it was a process. So just because I say simple, I don't ever want you to expect simple to mean immediate. That's not what that means. But why we're here together is to get there through the process with support and encouragement, because it will take intentional effort, time, courageous steps over and over. John Maxwell says to fail early, fail often, and fail forward. And I had already shared that courage is moving forward or failing in the face of fear. So it takes courage and encouragement from others to get out of the stuckness or survival mode and get moving forward. So don't go anywhere. Please keep coming back to be encouraged. And complete side note, I have a free 20-minute wellness chat available where you can just schedule me and we can chat about anything in regards to wellness. If you need that extra encouragement, you need that extra one-on-one time, and you just think that having a chat with me would help, I would love to do that. So the link is in the show notes for that. Okay, I had shared how I was in postpartum anxiety and completely overwhelmed. So what was I to do? Well, I went to God in prayer, and that's the P, prayer. It was through prayer that God gave me 4 things to do. And once God revealed to me the solution to my burden, how to find rest for my very weary soul, I had to do it, right? Because otherwise I would be disobeying and I would continue in this season of overwhelm. I wanted to get out of there, right? And that doesn't mean I don't fall short and still find myself there sometimes. But when I do, I know how to get out because he gave me the solution, right? So the A, so we did the P is prayer. The A is action. The courageous action towards that goal or intention is the solution that God gives you. So he gives you what to do, and then you do it. So Joshua 1:9 is one of my favorite verses. It is, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. It's hard not to sing that song because I created it into a song for my boys. And when I had my first son, I just felt like it was such a fitting verse for a boy. And, I prayed and asked God like a verse for his life. And that's the one that I put all over his room and created it into a song. And it works. Like when you know that down to your being, it helps you. So this is complete side note, but we went to camp for the first time this summer and took my boys along. And this is a camp that I grew up going to ever since I was like 6. And it's a Christian girls camp mostly. They have 1 week of boys. It's a sleepover camp. We have cabins. But all of that is very new to my children. My husband did not grow up camping, so it's not something that we do together as a family. I have taken my girls with friends a time or two, and the boys just haven't had that experience. So, and they were just going to be staff kids roaming around. They didn't have a set. They didn't have a cabin mates and everything to do camp with. It was a little different experience for them anyway. But oh my gosh, the cutest thing happened because that verse is so ingrained in my 6-year-old when he actually spoke in front of all the camp, all the campers, all those older girls. He spoke at the final night and he said what he learned that week and what he learned about camp. And he said, I learned that you don't have to be afraid. God is with you wherever you go. And he knew that verse from me singing it over him every night, but he knew it and he actually acted it out. He was not afraid that week. I had to remind him of the verse. I had to remind him of that there was nothing to be scared about and that this was all new and just to embrace it and it's going to be really fun and have a positive attitude. I had to remind him of those things, but he was able to really do it because he believed this verse to his core. And that's what I want you to do is to have complete confidence in these action steps that the Lord tells you to do because he is with you and he has commanded you to be strong and courageous. So he knows what is best for you to complete towards this intention that you have, towards this goal. And maybe you're like, well, it's just a little goal. I just can't seem to get there. God cares about the details. He wants to be in every little goal that you have and every little intention that you have because he has great purpose for you. So it takes these little goals and these little intentions to get to the great big purpose. It's all together, it works together. So don't discount anything that you want to get to, any goal that you want to reach. He wants to be in every action step towards that goal. Okay, so that was A. And what I would do is I would put the action steps on my calendar, paper all the way, by the way, and keep tabs. I've heard the quote, you can't improve what you don't measure. And doesn't that make perfect sense? If you want to improve in an area, you want to get out of a situation, you need to know where you are starting from. You need to know where you're starting so then you can measure where you are going. So to get out of the overwhelm, to get out of the stuckness, you need to evaluate what would do that, what action steps would do that, and then track them. So the T is tracking. So how did tracking help me go from overwhelmed and anxious to confident? It sounds silly, but every single time I checked that box in whether it was a calendar or a paper tracker, or I used a lot of different things, but whatever it was, it gave me a boost of confidence because it told me I did it. I completed that action, and every time you do something small, it builds confidence. Every act of courage compounds to confidence, kind of just like habit building, healthy habit building. Every little habit, every time you complete that action that you want to build into a habit, it compounds. So did you know that confidence is not something you're just born with or you have naturally? It's actually a skill you can learn. And that skill comes from doing the scary thing. It comes from doing that thing you don't want to do. It comes from taking that step of courage, that intentional action that might be hard or frustrating, or that maybe you already failed at before. You already tried it and it didn't work. It comes from doing it again. It comes from taking that action anyway. It comes from doing that thing you're not sure about, because in the doing comes the confidence. And every little check mark means you did it. You can keep doing it. You put your intention into action. What makes a confident person stand out from a non-confident person? Well, the confident person says, I got this. I can do this. I was made for this. And then they do it. They believe in themselves. And that comes from knowing who you are, which we've talked about, that identity piece. And I'm going to completely expand on identity again and my roles and my story of learning that confidence is a skill that I can learn in a future episode. Okay, what does tracking point to? It points to dun, 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 consistency. Huge word, right? We hear it all the time. It is all the motivational things you can look up, inspiring things. It all comes back to consistency, right? And so here is my own quote that we have, well, first off, we have heard over and over, consistency is the key to success. So here's what I like to say. If consistency is the key to success, then accountability is the secret code. If we're talking doors and keys and passageways, accountability is that secret code. Or sometimes I like to say secret sauce, same thing. So we have heard the million quotes about consistency because it's true. It is so important. But here's the capital T truth for you. Comes from 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the Lord, being continually aware that your labor in the Lord is not futile nor wasted. So consistency is repeated actions, or as Paul says, always excelling, and accountability is keeping an account of these actions, being continually aware, as Paul says. So that verse completely wraps up consistency and accountability. And for the definition, accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or an account for one's actions. Okay, so the S in P.A.C.T.S is share accountability. Share accountability. A tracking system is a great way to stay consistent, but to share that account for one's actions is accountability and the secret sauce. For me, I shared these 4 initial actions God gave me with my husband, and I used him as my accountability. And that might be great for you to do because it takes courage to take these steps, and we all can fall back into overwhelm, inaction, stuckness very easily. We need others to help us on in this courage. We need others to help us. We are not meant to do this alone. Okay, you ready for the tactical part? I actually created my own wellness tracker. I have this available as a free resource to you. It's at the link in the show notes. And so we're going to put PACTS in action. We're going to make a pact with each other and put it into action. Are you ready? Okay. So you're going to print off the wellness tracker. You're going to P, pray. You're going to A, fill in those courageous actions. You're going to T, track it consistently. And you're going to S, share it for accountability. Now, you can share it with someone in your life or me, or better yet, you can post it in our Facebook group. I actually have a community set up on Facebook for wellness encouragement. That would be a great place to post it. And if you do so, I'll give you a shout out here on the pod, which is that extra dose of accountability. But maybe you are just stuck in those first two letters still, P and the A. You're just still not sure what to do. Well, that's where you can keep listening, as I will continue to share practical steps that have worked for others. And you may just hear yourself in someone else's story. That is my hope and my prayer. Or you can also grab a one-on-one chat with me, as I mentioned before, and we can just chat about it and we can pray about it. And that would be a great place to start as well. So this is the courageous action. This strategy is the courageous action that led me to peace. And what really is peace? We will talk all about that next, I promise. Okay, Mama, I pray this blessed you today. Hey, Wellness Warrior, I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at the Shan Wright, so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, Mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.